What's up and welcome back to my channel. I'm Diana, creator of Money Boss Mama, and here on this channel we talk about all things money with the ladies. And a couple of videos ago, actually more than a couple, I talked about Roth IRAs, like what the F is a Roth IRA. And this is an individual retirement account, and it allows you to save your money, and your money grows tax free. But I also did not mention that since you are going to have to invest your contributions pretty much yourself most of the time. And so I wanted to make a video showing you guys how I invested the money in my Roth IRA. And I know, like, as a beginner, you're kind of like, okay, great, you told me to open up this account. I opened up this account. Now I have to invest the funds. How do I invest my money? I don't even know what to invest in. It's like a million things to invest in. And I just always find it helpful to see kind of what other people are investing in. This is not investment advice. I am not a guru when it comes to investing, but I just think that it will be really helpful to you all to see kind of what my money has been invested in, so that you can kind of see, you know, how to look at these things in order to figure out what you want to invest in. And for anyone thinking you have to have a lot of money to invest in a Roth IRA, that is wrong. I only have about $430 in my Roth IRA, and you can contribute up to $6,000 as long as your income is within a specific limit. You can find the limitations on the IRS site. But you can invest up to $6,000 if you are not some super high earner. Obviously, $400 is a long way from $6,000, but I'm still investing. The money is still growing, and we are learning to be big girls around here. So for the majority of the video, you will be seeing me on the screen showing you guys. We're actually going into my Roth IRA. I'm showing you guys what I have invested in, why I have invested in these certain things, as well as showing you how I am purchasing a new ETF. So let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so I decided that, like, what better way to show you guys how I actually determine which ETFs that I actually wanted to invest my money in than to actually walk you through my account and one of the ETFs that I was discussing that I invested my money in. So this one is the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF, or VXUS, VIXUS, I don't want to screw it up. But you can see here. And so price was one of the things that obviously I was looking at. I don't care if it's $50 or $100 that you can only put in your Roth IRA right now. Find an ETF that you, in your price range, that you can invest that money in. Don't like just let it sit there like you're losing out on time and earning potential, just letting it sit. And so I didn't let the small amount keep me from going in and investing the money. And with ETFs, they are a lot less costly than mutual funds. So it helps you to get started investing a lot sooner, or just make investing a lot more accessible to you. And so with this price here, you can see today's September 1st right now. And so right now it's at $66.51. If you have $66.51 available in your Roth IRA, or that you can contribute to your Roth IRA, as long as the price stays somewhat the same, then you can purchase this ETF. You don't need a lot of money. And so that was one of the perks about it, which is what caused me to go ahead and invest in it. But there were some other things as well. And so next I wanted to look at what was the performance. Like, what is the performance? So on Vanguard site. They make it super easy. They kind of break everything down here. You have your fees, distributions, news, and reviews on these ETFs as well. So that's why I went with Vanguard, because there are so many resources available to help you, especially if you are a beginner like me. And so with the performance, it allows you to break it down by 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Hopefully, if you're investing in a Roth IRA, you are a long-term investor. So this money is for the long term. And so I know it's going to be over 10 years out. So I'm looking at the trend. You're going to see some dips here because the stock market, it ebbs and flows. It's going to go up and down. But what is the main trend? And you can see even with the ups and downs, it's still going up. We started at 10,000 and now we're up close to $20,000. So yeah, you're going to have some dips here in between that time, but as long as you're holding onto the funds, leave it alone, let it do its thing, then per this chart or its history, it's going to go back up. And even with the 5 years, obviously it's less time than the 10 years. So you're gonna see more dips in that because it's a shorter amount of time. Don't panic, don't focus on it. What is the main trend? And as you can see, the thing, it's going up, okay? And so fees were very important to me as well. Like, I don't want fees to eat up the majority of my money, especially if I don't have a lot to contribute. So I went to fees here, and you can see that the expense ratio is only 0.08. That's it. And the average expense ratio of similar funds is 0.92, dang near 1%. So I can totally do 0.08 to me, and then it breaks it down here too. So fees on $10,000 invested over 10 years, you can see is $189. That's not bad. And then the last thing that I looked at was distributions. Like, I'm all about the dividends. Give me my money. I want all of my coins. So this ETF does have dividends, and it tells you, how much per share your distribution will be and the dates that you can expect these things, or what the previous dates were. So it looks like pretty much every 3 months. So December, then March, and then June. And this is per share what that distribution was. And this is money that is given to you for investing in this ETF. And you can choose to reinvest it or just let the dividends kind of pile up on themselves. That's kind of what I do with my individual stocks. The dividends that I get from them, I don't reinvest them. And to be quite honest, I just have not figured out how to do it through Ally. I don't reinvest them. I just simply leave the cash there to pile up on itself. And then when I had enough, it helped me to purchase another share of Apple, which was around $200 at the time. And I think I had like $30 to help me out, which I will take that $30 and free money. I am all for it. All right. And so something else that I also looked at was the risk potential. Obviously, when you're investing, you want to invest according to your comfort level. Like, what is your risk tolerance? For me, I know my risk tolerance is very high because I am still young, and I know that my investing strategy is long term. So I don't plan to touch this money for like 20, 30 plus years. And so I know that with investing, especially when you're dealing with stocks, it's just going to be a lot riskier. It's very volatile. And so the risk potential for this specific ETF is a 5. It's the highest one on the scale, but I also know that my earning potential is going to be a lot higher. Also, it's not very moderate. And I do the same thing for my daughter's Roth IRA as well. Like, she's 8. We got time, we got room for risk there. But see here on the side, I'm already up, or it's already up basically 22 cents. So it's up 0.33%. So it does have a higher potential when it comes to your earning. But if you're someone who sits there and looks at the stock market and it makes you sick when it goes down, probably start with something a little less volatile, more in the 1 to 3 range. And then when you feel like you're understanding it more, then you can increase it. So I figured that I might as well share with you guys my other ETF, which is the Vanguard long-term bond ETF, or the ticker symbol BLV. And so this one is a bond. So bonds are typically less riskier or less volatile than the stock ETFs. So this one is a risk potential 3. So it's right in the middle of being super risky and being kind of like, not risky at all. And remember that, the more risk, the higher your earning potential. But I decided to invest in a bond ETF because bonds are, to me, more stable, for more stability. And so I wanted a mixture in order to diversify my portfolio. I want a mixture of stocks and bonds, stocks for earning potential and bonds for more so stability so I can maintain. Right now, as of today, the market price for this is $105.19. So it's down 50 cents. This is when people are like, things are on sale, go in and buy it up now. Woo, market is down and things like that. That's basically what they mean, is that the price has dropped. And so since everyone, like when the market kind of goes into a little, it has its moment. People are selling, the prices are being driven down. And that's when, all the popular investors are like, go ahead and buy it up because it's on sale. The performance for this ETF, as you can see, it has a trend of going upward, which is good. So that's basically what we want to look for. Don't pay attention to the big dips up and down, especially if you are planning to be a long-term investor. Pay attention to the actual trend, which is going upward. And so that is something that I looked at. This is the hypothetical growth of $10,000 once again, and it's going from 2011 to 2021. So a 10-year time frame. And so for expenses, expense ratio is 0.05%, which is less than my other ETF. And so on $10,000 invested over 10 years with an annual rate of return of 3%, my fees for this is going to be $67. To me, not bad, doable. I can deal with that. And for the dividends or the distributions, I also looked at how often the dividends are scheduled to go out. That is going to be monthly. So you get monthly dividends from this. And so you see here, June, July, August, September, it goes out every month. And then the per share distribution is about 24 cents. All right, guys, so it is a new day, obviously, and I wanted to walk you guys through me actually purchasing an additional ETF or investing more money in my Roth IRA. I wanted the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF, ticker symbol BTI, and right now it's currently priced at $233.94. Today is September 3rd, and I'm just going to purchase one share. So I put in the symbol BTI to find it, and then I'm going to purchase one share because your girl just has $240 to work with. So with this, it's really simple, and most platforms will have the layout pretty much the same. If you can figure out how to do it with one brokerage account, you can pretty much do it on all other platforms. All right, so now that I have my shares, which is how many shares of this ETF I want, I can only afford one. I have my order type at market because the price that I'm seeing right here is the price that I want to purchase it at. So I am going to go ahead and click on preview order. You see here, this is what it's estimating it's going to cost me. Commission is free. So after clicking that, it takes me to the little submission page so that I know what I'm trying to purchase and the estimated amount. And now I'm going to just click submit. All right, and then boom, I just invested $233.99 purchasing this ETF. It was really as simple as that. Now they will send you a transaction confirmation through your email, letting you know when the transaction has actually been confirmed and taken place. But I just invested the remaining amount that I had in my Roth IRA. And so you'll just send over money like you do with your regular accounts, choose what you want to invest in, and then it's really just as simple as that.
All right, ladies, so that wraps up what is in my Roth IRA and how I have invested the funds. And I'm hoping that it encouraged you to start investing using a Roth IRA, and it made it a little less intimidating because if I can do it, anyone can do it. And this is still new for me as well. But the best way to learn, honestly, is to get in there and be hands-on. Be hands-on, learn, research a little bit, but don't research so much to where it's like analysis paralysis. But I will be doing more videos like this in the future, but I will catch you all in the next one.